Hey, it's JP with Central Idaho Mountain Weather. It's December 3rd, 2023, giving you a little storm update here, not on the usual script. Came over with this new, not new, but just a byproduct called the 24-hour boards. So this is just going to be snow totals for 24 hours as opposed to storm totals, which last through many days of the storm if it's a multi-day event. So I thought that was a semi-clever title coming off of what snow professionals measure snow on these things called snowboards. Poorly named, but we're using it. So I kind of just grabbed some of my favorite stations, working from south to north and grabbing pretty far west and east in the Central Mountains, covering the valley floors and also some of our higher elevation points. So soldiers did pretty good yesterday, picking up about 7 inches with about half inch water SWE. China Gardens here we had 3.5 inches with some settlement and 0.28 inches, so that makes about 9% density, so kind of heavier snow down here. Baldy had 5.5, Ketchum 4, Lower Titus was coming in strong with 9 inches. It was about what they were predicting, a little on the lower side. And that density or that density is looking at 6 or 7%, which is pretty good light snow. Unfortunately, the winds gusted pretty hard last night. Vienna had about 1 inch of water. Moores Creek I threw in here just to hit some of the Boise population. That had 6 inches. This is a new snow tell site I don't normally look at. It's pretty low elevation down at 6,000 feet, but they had a lot of water, about 1.6 inches of water. It's just been kind of pummeling through that area, the snowstorm. And then the Lost Rivers, Hiltz Creek, that's also another pretty low elevation snow tell site. Unfortunately, the only one over there. They picked up about 5 inches of snow with about 0.3 inches water. And then lastly, up in Banner Summit, so this is a manual station. This was off the Department of Transportation, the Snowtell site, and Mesa West site. We're actually reporting more snow, but I kind of wanted to go off the manual because that's actually boots on the ground looking at the snow, and they were reporting 4 inches, 5 inches being storm. This is like at the bottom, so as you climb, that's going to be a higher amount of snow. All right, so now let's just kind of do a little run through what we normally talk about. I just kind of wanted to look at some of these weather stations because it was fairly windy yesterday. Most of the valley floors were hovering around freezing, kind of getting up to like 35, 36 down in Healy. But the winds were kind of the big thing. We had a cold front come through last night and had winds up to 40, gusting up to 40. So that's definitely moving a lot of that lighter density snow. Soldier is always pretty interesting to watch after this. After these storms come through, they had gusts up to 102 miles per hour. Looks like the weather station fell off at 9 p.m. Just kidding, it's probably still there. Soldiers usually get a lot of winds, and it's usually not as windy when you get down to the ski area. And just look at Titus Peak as our last station. So not as windy, but still gusting pretty hard up to 33. So definitely moving lots of snow. If you're going out and play today, definitely check out the avalanche forecast. Things are definitely changing from a day ago. All right, looking around at some of the webcams this morning, just kind of update these. I love how they added a new one. And I had a couple of requests for Nordic forecasts. We're probably not going to be doing that here, but this is the closest you'll get is the Quigley Fields at 3.5 inches of snow. Baldy's looking pretty white. They hadn't cleared the board since yesterday. Looks like 2 inches of snow overnight. And I think I saw rotor runs blowing snow. It's kind of harder to tell now. And I also saw, it doesn't look like it now, looks like it is storming up in the Sawtooth. Banner Summit, when they posted that manual observation this morning, it was S2. That's 2 centimeters an hour. It's a pretty good snowfall rate. We are still in a storm warning for today, although we're not going to receive as much snow. So this is the event totals through Sunday. This is what we can still expect in the mountains. Not as much as yesterday. Yesterday was kind of like the big day, but let's take a look at what's going on. Zoom out here a little bit for you. So we still have all this atmospheric moisture funneling in. Another wave is going to pass overhead today. It's already, like I said, it's already snowing up in the Sawtooth. Not so much here in Wood River Valley. But let's look at the models and see what they're going to say. Okay, so we got another big, it's been getting pummeled in the western, like through Boise area with precip. So that's going to work its way over to the east really this afternoon, and it's going to be hitting all those western mountains again. So Banner Summit down western side of the Sawtooth and Western Smokies are going to be getting the most amount of snow, and that keeps filtering in. You can just see this afternoon and the late afternoon encompasses like Vienna Summit, Vienna Mine and Galena Summit down the crest, with Banner doing pretty well too. Looks like there's some pretty heavy precip moving through there. And then that kind of pushes through. It's more scattered snow showers through the evening into tomorrow. Becomes even more scattered. It looks like tomorrow afternoon, the northern sections can get some precip, but pretty much over for the Wood River Valley. Now tomorrow is when it's going to really probably, today it looks like the temperatures are going to stay around freezing, probably getting a few degrees above freezing, but we can still have snow happen as we saw yesterday. I think we're kind of in the clear with getting rain in the valley floor until maybe tomorrow up in the northern regions. We're not going to get any precip down in the Wood River Valley, it looks like, from these models. So I think we lucked out. But it is going to get warmer next week, as they're predicting it to. But we still have another system that's going to be coming through later in the week. So let's look at Sunday. So these are kind of snowfall totals for today. Looking like, again, it's going to be really on the western side of the Sawtooth Smoky Crest. Not as much snow happening everywhere else, but those models looked a little bit better than what we're seeing here. So cross your fingers for more snow. All right, have a good, safe day out there.